Go ahead and set us up.
Well, while we're in the era of handheld gaming becoming pretty crazy, PC handheld gaming specifically booming off, there's another one trying to get into the market, and it is called the Pocket Go. Doesn't even sound powerful, but it's by a company named Techno. They're based out of China, and they were a mobile, what was it? A mobile phone company. I don't know why my notice like this. Anyway. But they've came out with a little handheld. It has no screen on it, but it comes paired with AR goggles, thin ones too. Kind of sleek, not like VR, small. And I throw out some tech specs. What they have on it comes with the AMD Ryzen 7 8840 HS processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, SSD, Radeon 780M GPU. It's the same GPU, pretty essentially as a Yanyo. I don't know.
Ioneo.
Yo, thank you very much. I wrote that I was going to mess that up. I even looked it up and heard other people say it, and I still didn't feel right about it. So,
that's how it be sometimes. It's all good.
Like that. And then the glasses they come with are supposed to simulate pretty much a 215-inch TV. And so it's going to be able to run Steam. It has a replaceable battery as well, so you can. That was kind of special to me. Cool. I was like, dang, you can just buy like 5 batteries and have them ready to go. I know 5 is excessive, but that'll give you unlimited mobility. Like, you're good if you got a stack of batteries.
Well, you can also just have a belt power pack, right? Because it'll just plug in to charge, right? So just charge it and keep running it charged.
Yep. It is. So I'm just curious of what do y'all think about this coming into the game? Do you think it's a competitor? And also, do you like the creativity of it? I'm sure that the goggles are just USB-C and you can just plug them into anything, which is also kind of cool as well, because you just get a pair of AR goggles with this, with speakers on the goggles as well. So, yeah, what do you guys think? I'll start with you, Fuzzy.
Hey, can I correct myself really quick?
Sure.
I don't like spitting nonsense. Helldivers is number 2 as far as current players, and Power World's number 5 on Steam.
I was saying, it's hot. I'm enjoying it as well. So that's just from my perspective. But dang, came in. Wow. But I'll start with you, Fuzzy. How do you feel about this device? Does it intrigue you at all?
Oh yeah, it definitely sounds cool, and it's funny. Like, a lot of people I know that have handhelds are now starting to use some of these goggles as well for screens with their either their Steam Deck or their ROG Ally and stuff like that, which it makes it so you now have like a larger screen in front of you. For us with older eyes and stuff like that, it's a good way to get more pixels in front of you without having to connect it to a TV via like a hub or something like that. But if it's already built in where you get the goggles, you have a little bit more of a potent chip with it, a little bit more or definitely better options as far as charging on the go kind of thing, like a battery pack or whatnot. That might be the better go between, or like the next phase where instead of handhelds, or for those that are opposed to particular handhelds and things like that, you could possibly go with like have it where the handheld unit itself is clipped to you. Use your controller, have it where it's doing the Bluetooth or something along those lines. That might be the best of all worlds kind of thing. So I probably want to look this up to see what timeline it is before it's released kind of thing. But that sounds like a good alternative to having a full-on handheld and not having to worry about like Joy-Cons or anything along those lines, where you might have more options to go with. So that sounds pretty cool.
Glad to hear that. Look, can I point that in chat? In chat, they said, I'm just trying to correct myself too. I swear when I looked this up, it said that they're a Chinese company. Someone in the chat said African. I'm not trying to discredit any country or continent, nothing. But I swear it said Chinese. But I may be looking at the wrong company somehow. But thank you, Fuzzy. I think that you make good points on that as well. I think that's going to be kind of crazy. Same question for you, Hargeet. Does this device interest you at all? If at all?
Yeah. So I mean, it's what I'm expecting to be the next disruptor is AR, not VR, but AR. Because you can see, okay, this is on gaming, but just imagine that's your phone, right? You don't need to have a freaking display on this thing. It could just be that, and that's it. Just glasses is your interface. And then you could just be walking around with things that point to the real world, because that's an input and output device, right? And so it can see the real world and tell you, oh, hey, that's that store. It's open from now to now. It has, there's the menu if you want to click on it and see the menu, like just simple, stupid things like that, right? Where it becomes interactive with the world around you, and you have a massive view field of stuff, and you can have stuff on the background that like pings you, hey, somebody's sending you an X message or whatever it is, right? And you can look at it, oh, okay, cool, let me see what that is, and it just brings it to the forefront, and there you go, and you just see it, right? But you're still in the real world. You're still seeing the real world. Like, I'm expecting that to be the next disruptor, right? And then the power comes from something like this. It could be sitting in your pocket, doesn't matter, right? And this thing just happens to take off as the actual interface, right? It changes the world. And then when you get to gaming can now change entirely, right? The game can be more dynamic to the room you're in, right? And say, I'm going to make the game function within your room and take account of the table, whatever you have in your room, right? The chairs, the sofa, whatever it is, and make it part of the game. And then you can actually have interactive. So it could just change the whole thing, right? I'm expecting that to be the next disruptor, right? Because, we can have as big a TV as you want, but having the entire world be your TV, be your gaming experience that's what AR is. Right. Yep. And that's what I'm looking at as the next disruptor. I don't know when it'll become that, but we're getting pretty close. Right. That was where they were going to go with HoloLens, was that like the next version needs to be this exact thing, glasses. It's just glasses and it just runs everything and you're done. Right. But I think the better thing is to say it's glasses that hooks up to something else. It's in your pocket. It's on your belt. It doesn't matter. You don't need to do anything with this. It just needs to be the power that runs it. Right. And the CPU and GPU is there and it just does everything here. Eventually, yes, it can be all here. But right now, we don't need to do that. We need to do what they're doing. You can do it wirelessly or you can do it wired, whatever it is. So I love the idea. I love the innovation. I love that this is exactly the direction we need. This is why I want to do what I was saying. Take the entirety of Xbox and make it peripherals that are sanctioned. And that way Microsoft can work with these guys and say, it boots up, it looks like an Xbox. It brings up an Xbox UI. It gives you an Xbox, like 3D environment because it's now AR, right? And they can innovate with them and take this to the next level. But it's your Xbox catalog. You just play your Xbox games. You don't configure anything. You don't do anything. It just bloody runs, right? That's what you want with something like this. This is going to run Windows. So for all those of you who use Windows, it's still going to have the quirks of Windows. That's unfortunately the problem with this device. So that's the thing that's kind of a negative. I would love this to just be a bloody Xbox. It's a bespoke device with an 8840. People can make their games to run on that. It has a specified amount of memory. It's going to have a specified performance level. This would be perfect. This is what I'm looking for, right? Allow the innovation, allow other companies to do that instead of Xbox has to do everything. Right. And I could see maybe PlayStation wanting to do this, but it's so much easier for Xbox to do it because it's Windows. Windows is everywhere. You just have to marry it to say Xbox and Windows are together. For devices that we sanction, they will run like an Xbox. Right. And you pick the 10 or so devices that do that. This would be a perfect thing like that. I would love to see that kind of thing. Right. This is where innovation meets technology and software, and it makes a great ecosystem. This is the future. This is what I'm expecting, and I hope they make it happen. Because then, like, I want to take something with me. It's a pair of glasses. It's a pair of glasses. It's so easy to take with you. You need a controller anyway, and the controller's got the computer built in. What an innovative idea. I love it. I love everything about it. The one negative I have beyond the Windows thing, power. If this thing doesn't run at 100 plus frames, having and high resolution, the jarringness of movement with a large screen, it's going to be somewhat problematic. It's fine to take a 7-inch or 8-inch screen and have a 1080p or 720p because it's small. You can't really tell. When you blow that up to 200, everything that isn't very detailed is blown up. To be very not detailed.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's just one thing that you have to worry about. So they have to scale correctly. And again, like a gen or so from now, having AI upscale built in, having all that capability, it'll make it be fine. But like this is the path we need to be on. This is definitely the way to go. I'm totally looking forward to like 15 years from now. We'll say, what TV? What is TV?
Right.
I just put my glasses on. My TV is a virtual thing that shows up on my my wall.
Right.
Right? Like it could absolutely be that way. We just wait to get to there, to that point. This is a step in that direction, though. That's what I would love to see more of this. I love it. I love this innovation. I love that they're looking at that. I'm hoping for much more. I'm hoping for one that's like, say, you have to plug it into power, but it's like 3 times more powerful.
Right.
It's your
Yep.
Series X in your
That
controller
Pro version. Mhm.
right? I would love that.
Mhm.
So, but that's what we need to get to. I love this though. I love this as a stepping stone. Would I get it? It just depends on how much it is.
Right.
Right. We'll just have to see how much they charge for it. But
Right.
very, very cool idea. Very cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That is pretty much where I'm at with it as far as innovation meeting technology. I love gadgets, man. I'm a big James Bond guy, Tom Cruise and Mission. I love gadgets. That looks like a nice gadget, and it seems a little powerful.
Oh, Bruce Wayne over there.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's my dog. Big Bruce Wayne. He a real dude, just got a lot of gadgets and hands. He's a ninja as well, and money. We ain't talking about Batman. but I think I'll kick it to you, Supernova. Does this interest you at all? How do you feel about it?
How I feel about it, I want to kind of get.
If I get,
Yeah,
you mind
I
if
was
I
about
get
to say.
these? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let me get
Yeah.
Goat Gaming wants some of that hashtag horn action. You know what I'm saying? We want.
It's so close, bruh.
So close.
The wording is so close.
He hits us with not just one, well, not just 5, but look at that, 10
Mm.
Longhouse Gaming Podcast memberships. Listen, they don't call you the GOAT for no reason. He gifted Brian Majestic, Heavy Core Project, Sean Smith, Bobby Sy, Web Dave, Zach Riley, Big Mad Mo, PK Thunder. Whoa, what else? Bars,
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the bar.
ODG the Toy Man and AB with Longhouse memberships. Y'all throw up
Throw
the
it up.
set if y'all can. Throw up the set. Y'all
Man.
green now. And Goat did that so I can blow this horn twice. Let's see if I can go 3 for 3 now. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Another one.
Okay.
Oh, I catch my breath. Ta-da!
Okay.
3 for 3. Actually, I'm
Mhm.
5 for 5 this week, Playboy.
Okay. You said put some
You know
respect
what I'm
on
saying?
your
Put
name,
some
huh?
respect on there. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about. Green
Thank
Crew. Y'all throw up the set. Gang all
Appreciate
day.
that Go Gaming for sure. The GOAT.
That's why they call it
the GOAT. Right,
Yeah. Yo, just for that, I might make a video or whatever that comes up on the screen when somebody gives. That's why they call him the GOAT.
So good.
That is good.
The GOAT Gamer says I'm the most hated person on Twitter. If we're going to be honest here, you're not the most hated. You're not the most hated. That would go to the red wagon. The red wagon. All right, go ahead, man. But thank you for you gifted 15 today.
Yeah.
Shit, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you for real.
Boy, coming in
appreciate
clutch.
And Chad, if
100%.
y'all didn't thank GOAT for that, man, please go do that, man. That's huge. That's
Please.
huge. And hit that like button if you haven't either, man. But I'll go ahead and hop right into it, Skell. So this particular console reminds me of I may be dating myself here, man, but does anybody remember that console called R-Zone? It was made by Tiger back in the day, like 95-ish. and like you played on the console and it had like a little scanner, looked like Dragon Ball Z that you would put over your eye, and it would be all red. It was red, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So things do go full circle after a while, man. So originally I got excited. I'm like, okay. So I went to do a little bit of research and saw the stats and stuff that Hargeet talked about a little bit earlier. But I was a little I wanted to reserve my excitement because there was a lot of stuff that was missing. Like the 215-inch screen, it sounds great at 6 meters, right? It sounds great. But I don't know what the resolution of this screen is, like Hargeet said. You know, like I needed some specifics on that. I don't know a price point, so it makes it very difficult for me to gauge how powerful this thing really is going to be. Right. So I don't have a release date, no price point. Also, not that many pictures of the device and people using it from what I saw.
Yeah.
You know. So it seemed from the little bit of pictures that we have seen, it seems like the glasses themselves are tethered to the controller. The controller's doing all the heavy lifting, also like Hargeet said earlier. So the controller definitely, it looks like it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting too. It's quite large of a controller, so I don't know if that's going to be super comfortable to have in hand. But just hearing Hargeet talk about it actually gave me some hope, really. So I'm like, okay, like maybe there's some stuff that I'm missing out on here when it comes to them not listening to specifics, but it may be a lot better than initially it came off to me, man. But I think I'm excited.
Love to hear it, man. I think it's gonna be interesting. And you're right, man. There is no price point. This shit could be $1,000, bro. It could be 300, 500. We can't really gauge power. Unfortunately, isn't that crazy? Unfortunately, we can't gauge the power without knowing the price. That's sad times, man. I mean, I guess that's all time, but it's sad. It's just sad.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. I definitely agree with what you're saying. It is hard to get hyped when we don't have all the information. So appreciate that, man. What about you, Mr. Viking? What do you think about this device?
I think it's cool as a concept. When I was reading like the specs on it, I wasn't sure. Maybe I missed it, but it's a huge miss if there's not a USB-C to a HDMI for that controller, right? So that whenever I do want to play on the monitor, all I have to do is plug it into any type of monitor or TV. That way I can just start playing that way. Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Unless they come out with some cool ass frames, I'm not going out in public with this shit. Like, I'm not.
I mean, the frames don't look bad, but understand, it is Windows, right? So you can just use USB-C, and it will just give you, like, you can get a USB-C to HDMI. And plug it into a TV. So because it's just Windows.
It's just Windows. USB-C on top. I think the BLAQQ is just a USB-C dongle type.
There's two USB-C ports on the top of it.
All right,
cool. So you can just plug in USB-C to whatever you want.
Okay, so I'm cool.
It's just Windows.
That's perfect because like
Delilah says indoors only.
Indoors, yes, 100%.
I'm more so thinking about hotels and stuff. Like,
Yeah, but like when I take my ROG with me, like I take it to work, like when I used to ride the bus in Norway, like I'm on the bus there, playing it, or just like on a flight or whatever, like I'm not taking it unless they look like these frames. Like I'm not, I can't do it. They gotta look like some aviators or something. I personally can't do it, bro, because most of them look like, I think, didn't they look like some Oakleys or something like that?
I think as far as like goggle tech, they look all right, especially being able to, they're just like for your game. So I'm just, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You want some style with your glasses. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then like another thing, like with, let's say I have the ROG Ally. Well, since it is Windows, it probably does have Bluetooth. So like if I want to use a different controller, then I could use it, because I was thinking about like stick drift and buttons getting messed up. Like that's the whole device in there, just like ROG or whatever. But like with my ROG, most of the time, unless I'm on the bus or whatever, like I'll have it perched up on like a desk or something and play with my Xbox Elite controller.
Right.
But yeah, I was just and then I don't know what the price point is. You guys don't know. We don't know what the resolution is. It seems like a fantastic idea. Like it seems like cool, right? But the functionality, I guess, when it comes to like a lot of people aren't going to be seen outside wearing them glasses. Even if I have company over, bro, like I'm not I'm not Don, and I'm not that shallow. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not wearing them glasses.
Can't affect my drip, he says.
Yeah, wearing them outside, that wasn't my where I'd be using them at personally. No,
Yeah.
it's more so. I'm more so thinking of this as being a nice travel console type of thing that I don't have to have a nice TV for as well. It's like if I'm going on a trip and I have this at my hotel, I'm geeked. I'm geeked to stay inside in my hotel and just I have a whole thing with a nice screen as well. That's kind of where walking around. Yeah, I don't know.